We're in a situation where we have put together, and you guys did it for our the President Obama's administration before this. We have put together, I think, the most extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization in the history of American politics. I don't care if you think I'm Satan reincarnated.
The latest on an alleged plan to assassinate Donald Trump. This man grabbed by police at a packed rally in Las Vegas, and ABC's Pierre Thomas has new details in Washington.
Weighing up the mood of conservative America in a gun show in West Virginia. Among the rifle racks and ammunition, there's anger and dark talk of looming conflict.
After Senator Rand Paul was allegedly assaulted at his home in Baltimore.
We are witnessing a radicalization of libertarians all across the country.
Dear viewers, we have just received word that Libertarian Death Squad are taking over.
We've come to take our country back.
He also worries its civil war could be on the way back.
Coronavirus.
There are fears a rapidly spreading virus has reached Australia.
That's on the right road.
He's not the only
Stand
one.
back
Robert
and
Brown
stand
sells
by.
vintage
But I'll tell
guns
you
from
what.
the
I'll
19th
tell you what.
century.
Somebody's got to do something about Antifa.
Her son, 19-year-old Horace Lorenzo Anderson, was shot and killed inside the then cop-free zone that persisted for weeks on Capitol Hill.
Over of Afghanistan now inevitable?
No, it is not.
It's taken just 4 weeks for that statement to be proved so spectacularly and alarmingly wrong. Reality, thousands of miles away, is now on here.
China is urging its citizens not to travel abroad as it struggles to contain the virus.
We will be standing up Christmas Island as a quarantine.
Go, Brandon, I agree.
Hey, by the way, China are now banned from entering the country.
Christmas ornaments, drywall,
declared that the coronavirus
name
presents
3
a public
things
health
that don't
emergency.
hang themselves. That's what the American people think.
It's a story with suggestions of a scandal, one that could threaten a presidency. At its center is a laptop. The computer belongs to Hunter Biden, son of Joe, the US president. It's been all the talk, particularly in Trump-supporting circles, for years.
By the way, whatever happened to Hunter? Where the hell is he?
Now Republicans in Congress want to investigate the Hunter Biden affair. So what are the allegations against him? What could be the implications for his father, the US president? The story was reported in the right-wing New York Post before the 2020 election. It went like this. It was 2019 and Joe Biden was soon to run against Donald Trump for the presidency. Hunter Biden went into a computer repair shop. He wanted to recover data from some broken laptop computers, but he never returned to pick them up. Eventually, the computer repairman, John Paul McIsaac, looked at what was on the laptops, as he says he was allowed to, under a so-called 90-day abandonment procedure. What did the computer repairman find? Well, quite a lot. Homemade pornography, embarrassing photos. But it was the email traffic that turned this into a more serious matter. Hunter Biden used to be on the board of a Ukrainian energy company called Burisma. And John Paul McIsaac claims the laptop contained evidence that Hunter Biden used his connection with his father to help in this role, something that would amount to corruption. One email from a consultant to the firm read, "Dear Hunter, thank you for inviting me to DC and giving an opportunity to meet your father and spend some time together."
The announcement of my guy's upcoming travels. Now, my guy, Hunter refers to his father as my guy, or the chairman, or the big guy.
Joe Biden says he's never discussed his son's overseas dealings with him. He's dismissed the whole story as Russian disinformation. McIsaac, the computer repairman, who says he voted for Donald Trump in the 2016 election, made a copy of the laptop's contents and then told the FBI in December 2019. The story eventually made its way to the New York Post.
Ah, boy.
It was seized upon by Mr. Trump and his supporters, but it didn't make the impact that might have been expected. The FBI made clear their concerns about Russian disinformation ahead of the 2020 election. Subsequently, Facebook and Twitter restricted the spread of the laptop story on their platforms. Joe Biden won the 2020 election. The laptop story wasn't given the scale of coverage that might have been expected, but it's now back in the spotlight. Republicans control the House of Representatives in the US. And in the new session of Congress, they've promised to investigate claims of corruption.
This evidence raises troubling questions about whether President Biden is a national security risk and about whether he is compromised by foreign governments.
Republicans in the House are also planning to look into illegal immigration at the Mexican border and the US government's handling of COVID-19. It's all part of a wider effort to undermine the Biden administration with an eye on the 2024 election. How big an impact the tale of the Hunter Biden laptop will have is yet to be seen, but it's one story that isn't going away.
Hey, welcome to Inside Four Walls. I'm your James Madison, and I think we have a new favorite website, don't we? Whenever someone wants to make an argument about, well, what about the crimes Eric Trump might be doing or Don Jr. might be doing, I think we now have a new resource for just wordless fucking rebuttals. All you gotta do is just copy and paste a link at this point, because extensive Hunter Biden laptop archive with nearly 10,000 photos published on new website. Now that's how you kick off MAGA month, folks. Let's get right into it. And it was updated. As an immense catalog. Oh, by the way, this article is by Josh Christensen. Now, perhaps people can't really relate to that little beginning. You know, I got some family members that, they'll be like, well, don't you think people should be looking into what maybe Don Jr.'s up to? Fuck it. Sure, have an investigation. All on for it. But what about what we know about Hunter Biden right now? We don't know anything. You can't prove it to me. Alright, fine. I can just spam you with links, though. I'm gonna be obnoxious as hell. Folks, you have social media. You have timelines. This information here, this website, everything is fucking censored and ready to go, folks. All you gotta do, copy, paste, right click, have that NFT free mentality. You know what I mean? That right click mentality, boys. All you gotta do is save and post. Post links, post saved images, go fucking wild. Make the internet flooded with this kind of information. Why? Because we, me, you, and anyone else who's been following the story with Hunter Biden laptop, and you gotta, and why am I at the New York Post for this? Because New York Post was the first mainstream outlet to say, yeah, this laptop is real, and we're suspicious of other outlets that refuse to talk about this because we know other outlets know it's real. And everyone said, the New York Post is a far-right extremist website confirming insane conspiracy theories, guys. To the point where the New York Post had to write an article saying, fuck every one of you. Right here, folks. Smoking gun email reveals how Hunter Biden introduced Ukraine businessman to VP dad. October 14th, 2020. Put yourself in that moment. Where were you? 2020. Leading into the elections. America on fire. Now to my Australian audience, the lockdowns and all that may not have quite reached you yet, to my understanding, from what I've read and what I've heard from people I've talked to. The lockdowns for you guys were more of a 2021, 2022 deal. And specifically, my fucking condolences. It's a goddamn misery and a half. But to the Americans, where were you? Place yourself there. A lot of you not even bothering getting Halloween stuff because you're not going trick-or-treating, you're too scared. Or maybe your neighborhood canceled trick-or-treating. It happened. Maybe your city canceled trick-or-treating. That happened. So you weren't even allowed to get candy to hand out. You could buy decorations. Maybe you're conservative in that point, right? You're looking at the TV. BLM riots, Antifa violence, those little, the Christian groups that were beaten to death in the streets, the man who was shot through the back of the head while praying, the Kenosha shit, Kyle Rittenhouse, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor. Remember all that, guys? Derek Chauvin? Yeah. Real rough time. And there's a news article that came out right here, the one you're looking at, and it said, the laptop is real. And after this article comes out, without any hesitation, the date, October 14th, 2020, Smoking Gun email reveals how Hunter Biden introduced Ukrainian businessman to VP dad. New York Post, confirming just weeks before the election, poll after poll has shown an increasing amount of Americans said they would have either voted differently or not voted at all had they known about the laptop. To the point where if the laptop wasn't such a suppressed story, it would have swayed an entire election. Now, leave Dominion comments, whatever, if you want. But reading through articles, sitting here with what evidence we do have, if the laptop wasn't so buried, we know how the election would have turned out. CNN and every other mainstream media wasted no time, October 18th, the anatomy of the New York Post's dubious Hunter Biden story. With Brian Stelter, folks. And with what we learned about the FBI forging signatures, falsifying documents, and actively doing everything they can with both Twitter and other social media platforms to suppress the story, and the absolute deep state mechanisms behind the Hunter Biden laptop suppression story. At first it was just the news is ignoring it. Then we find out what's going on Twitter and the laptop and how it's being suppressed there. Then, you know what I've always kind of wondered? Why was it so suppressed so hard on 4chan? That's the thing that made me really lose a lot of faith in 4chan as a website. Now I just kind of use it to gather you laugh, you lose content. There's literally no other point for it. And everything around the laptop was so ripped down and suppressed, like, instantly. It made me even wonder, was it just Jannies and mods? Or was it a big glowing hand yanking cords from behind the scenes? Who fucking knows at this point? But what we do know is, we are vindicated. The laptop story is real, and there's absolutely no fucking reason why we should stop saying, fuck you, we were right. You were called crazy. You were called a conspiracy theorist. You had posts deleted, accounts locked. You were shadow banned and suppressed and silenced for saying the Biden crime family is going to burn America, gutted from the inside out because they're owned by China and Ukraine. Joe Biden is a fucking pedophile. And Hunter Biden is fucking worse. And that is just the tiniest bit of the iceberg we can see. You got deplatformed for that. Well, make sure the people who told you that you were wrong feel as stupid as they wanted you to feel. We are going to get through this article. I know it's been 7 minutes of me just fucking soapboxing. My apologies. But I get real worked up about this. A lot of personal people, a lot of people in my life, a lot of friends, a lot of people have gotten arguments with me about this. And the same people who spent from 2020 through early 2023, before even CNN was confirming it, saying that, oh, shut up, fuck you and your little propaganda show. And it's not the subscribers, it's people in my life that I'm sitting here like, hey, here's a link to this website, go fuck yourself. And I want more people to feel the joy that I feel being an obnoxious twat. So I hope I've motivated you. And if this counts as a harassment call, don't do this. And this is allegedly all a joke. An immense catalog of photos from Hunter Biden's abandoned laptop were published Thursday on a new website, as the first son faces ongoing investigation into his overseas business affairs. and potential tax and gun crimes. Now, some background there as well. Remember, folks, we covered this before. When he filed lawsuits about the laptop saying, I was defamed with this laptop, and they stole my content. And the judges were like, you do realize if you say they stole your content, you're admitting it was your laptop, right? And he continued with the lawsuits, legally admitting ownership to all courts in America that, yes, I, Hunter Biden, owned this laptop. Because every lawsuit I filed to defend myself in these laptop cases require me to have ownership. And even though he was disclosed that, he continued with it. Nice. And as for the gun crime, he is a multiple-time felon, and was known to be possessing crack cocaine and various other substances. Not particularly libertarian, but there are currently laws on the books about this. And if they're going to be enforced the same way that Joe Biden wrote them to destroy, low-income areas of all racial backgrounds in this country through the 94 crime bill, though I will admit it was particularly targeted towards black and Latino communities. Remember, the Democrats care about the minorities. Anyway, also, well, that's not completely fair. I mean, DARE was a Ronald Reagan thing, and that also was very bad. Pretty much laid the precursor. It was like the No Child Left Behind to the 94 crime bill's Common Core, if that makes any sense. But Hunter Biden's fuck buddy, sister-in-law, brother's widow, anyway, he was fucking his dead brother's wife and baby mama. And she threw a gun in a dumpster that happened to be recovered, fingerprinted, and linked back to Hunter Biden. Just things are just nice and lining up. Now, either accidentally or on purpose, neither here or there. Nearly 10,000 photos taken between 2008 and 2019 will be hosted at BidenLaptopMedia.com. Bing! Link in the description below. After a former Trump White House aide apparently spent months scanning the digital archive, redacting some images, and publishing the rest. Oh god, I just got chills thinking about that. Yo, pray for this guy. God bless whoever the fuck that guy was. Digging through all this, having to see what he saw. Oh. God, you got a VIP spot in the afterlife, my man. Quote, the number one thing we're about is truth and transparency. Garrett Ziegler, who funded the nonprofit Marco Polo, told Fox News. Among the redacted pictures are those that display private information, such as Social Security, banking, and credit card numbers. Explicit photos of Hunter Biden's sister-in-law turned lover, Haley Biden, the widow of the late Beau Biden, are also sealed from public view. Man. I mean, if you already have them, they're censored. I'd say make them public. Let everyone see. It's the same thing I say. It's my same complaint with the Project Veritas videos. Is when they release the finalized project. Sure, I know it's. I can get behind Project Veritas, at least when James O'Keefe was there. And sorry, let me drink some chalky milk real quick. I'm not kidding. I got real chalky milk. Is that muscle milk? It's good. I got tired of just sitting on my ass all day recording, so I want to do some weightlifting and whatnot. So muscle milk. Anyway, I always thought that James O'Keefe should also release the full 8-hour whatever videos where it's not just like split up, so it's just like the 5 minutes for the big interaction, the couple seconds afterwards. It should just be like release that, like the thing they normally release, and like the full like 9 to 10 hour whatever investigative thing. Just so no one can accuse you of editing footage. To be like, fine, go ahead, watch the full live stream, see what we cut out. And at least do that to the point where people stop demanding it so much. Continuing on, the outlet also revealed 2 previously unseen photos. One of text messages between Hunter and Haley, and another of Hunter with then-girlfriend Zoe Keston, who testified last year before the Delaware-based federal grand jury investigating the first son. Quote, if the American people want to know what their first family is like, they're going to get it, and we're going to be taking out we're going to be taking out photos that paint the Bidens in a good light, Zelger told Fox News Digital. Now, let me tell you, folks, remember, if this guy is also, I don't want to say Ziegler is the person who did the photos because there's not that immediate link that told me so. It kind of just went from saying an aide for Donald Trump put this website together, and then it went into quotes from Ziegler. So I didn't say Ziegler spent months putting these photos together, so I just don't want to act like for sure Zelger is. But you think I'm going to put a bunch of money behind this right now, just metaphorical money, non-existent funds, Canadian loonies basically, that Donald Trump had a hand in getting that website up and off the ground, and it's going to be my new favorite website. Quote, there's a picture of a letter that Hunter's daughter, Finnegan, terrible name for a girl, wrote to, quote, I assume troops stationed overseas, like in Iraq and Afghanistan. It's an adorable letter. Finnegan's around 9 years old at the time, and it definitely paints the Bidens in a good light. Fair, but man, it also kind of ruins the innocence of that painting, honestly. Mainly because while it's like it may be one of a few examples of something wholesome from the family, it also means it's thrown into the mix of all these disgusting, nasty things. And to this little girl who wrote it, Finn or Finnegan, wherever she goes by, is gonna, you know, when she thinks about it now, she's gonna think about like the investigation, what's being used for in the media. I do feel bad for the kids in this situation, and honestly, kind of shitty if you don't feel bad for the kids in these situations. You know, no child deserves to be caught up in this bullshit. Federal prosecutors have yet to announce whether they will bring charges against the 53-year-old Hunter for alleged crimes including tax fraud and lying on a gun purchase form about his drug use. Hunter faces a separate congressional inquiry into his business affairs abroad by House Oversight Committee, which has combed through bank records to yeah, I don't know what keeps getting in my throat, substantiate claims of influence peddling in the first family. Now, here's the thing. Will he actually face charges and get arrested? I don't know. I doubt it. Most of my money would say not at all. But I've also kind of wondered. There's a large pull of politicians within the state who clearly don't want Joe Biden to run again. But it's also at the same time, like, who do they have? If you go listen to my other Hunter Biden stories or episodes I've uploaded, I know I've talked about this thought of mine before. If Joe Biden, and I've said this before, with Joe Biden running for president, I almost wonder if there would be some backdoor deep state element that would use Hunter Biden as leverage. You know, I know what you're thinking, just hear me out real quick, humor me. In which Joe Biden runs for president, and all of a sudden Hunter Biden suddenly ODs, relapses, found in some shady hotel outside Las Vegas type deal, and they're like, you know, Joe, if you keep running for office, you know, we're gonna have to, you know, get you to stop running for office. You know, this is deep state type thinking, right? And you know, we don't want you running for office, especially if you just go enjoy your last couple, you know, your 10, 15 years, your twilight years. Go sit with a blanket on your lap and nap in the sun, or, you know, your last son, blah, blah, blah. And if, you know, depending on how you feel at JFK, you know, does it really seem like something they wouldn't do? The only issue with using Hunter Biden as leverage is Joe Biden doesn't care about Hunter. I have never seen anything that tells me Hunter Biden means anything to his dad beyond a tool, a device. And it seems like Hunter Biden is in a constant state of always trying to appease his dad. Like, hey, Dad, I got the deal in Ukraine going. Did I do good? Am I a good son? Yay. Okay, Dad, I got the Chinese deal going. Yay. I got the Russian deal going. Yay. You know, it's like, always try and get the approval of the old man and just never getting it. I think the most that Hunter Biden was ever, you know, physically touched by his father was when his dad pushed him out of the way to get to the siblings that he actually cared about. So, something happens to Hunter Biden, Joe Biden's gonna just quickly be like, oh, you know, his campaign, his team would be like, oh, well, you know, ripped with grief and agony, but we're going to carry on and make sure that we're there and finish the job we owe the American people. I've speculated this conspiracy theory for a minute. But I lean really heavily towards no. He's not going to face a lockup. No. Federal prosecutors, but being dragged out in public, charged, tried, at least having to admit to shit, sure. But I just don't see him being thrown behind bars. Then again, a lot of people were saying the same thing about Ghislaine Maxwell, so you never know. Don't lose that hope. I guess copium all the way, right? Federal prosecutors have yet to announce whether they will bring charges against the 3-year-old. Hunter faces a separate congressional inquiry. Many images from the laptop show Hunter in various states of undressed, and surrounded by drug paraphernalia. Nappy nap. Oh. He's looking at life through a glass onion. In his 2021 memoir, Beautiful Things. What is with these pompous fucks? That's as shitty and art hoey of a title as Spare. God damn. Hunter Biden recounted details about having struggled for years with an addiction to crack cocaine, baby. It's one hell of a drug. In his 2021 memoir, Beautiful Things. God, I hope I don't quote that one more time. The younger Biden recounts struggling for years with an addiction to crack cocaine. Ziegler's Marco Polo organization also hosts the website BidenLaptopEmails.com, which link in the description below, I guess, which gives web users access to more than 120,000 emails from the scandal hit First Son's laptop. Ooh, new audiobook series in the works, apparently. And before we wrap up, let's look at these comments below, shall we? Oop. By Stephen P. The entire Hunter Biden scandal isn't about Hunter. It is about his father and uncle, and how they used him for money. He should really resent those guys, but Joe is keeping Hunter out of prison, and vice versa. Soon, the House of Cards will tumble down. I don't disagree with that take. I do kind of want to see a House of Cards based around the Biden administration. That would be a good sitcom. I could see a good satire, like the Monty Python type humor behind it. I could kind of see that working. Richard James says, so Mr. Dick Jim has to say, no, really. It's about how the Biden family business is selling access to and favors from senior Senator, then Vice President, and now President Joe. That's their racket, and it's been going on for years. Yeah, Biden Inc. And Elizabeth Patience. Sweet name. I sincerely believe he actually left the laptop there on purpose. Ooh. To end being their slave. The revelations of the laptop show he was getting sick of being used. You know what, actually? That's not exact. I really do see where that's coming from, actually. I don't exactly know if I believe it, but that is, that does kind of work alongside he just wants his dad to love him, so he's willing to do whatever it takes, even if it throws him under the bus and makes him suffer. His relationship with his dad and his presence around Joe changed after Bo died. It was like there was no longer that competition, that insurmountable force to become Joe Biden's beloved son. With his brother out of the way, there was like that vacuum there to be Joe Biden's prime kid. But Hunter Biden was a product of an affair. He was kind of like an embarrassment to Joe. Right? Because when Hunter Biden got popped out the puss, Joe Biden had to be like, yeah, fuck, I cheated. I fucked the babysitter. And then he married the babysitter. Hi, Jill. Well, Jill's his stepmom was a different babysitter. And he thinks Joel's a vindictive cunt. His own words, not mine. So it's like, yeah, there's a lot of, Joe just never really liked Hunter Biden, it seems. Anyway, Truth Teller says he was an addict. He completely forgot about the laptop. Addicts blank out and have amnesia. And that's why I'm saying, I don't fully believe that he left it there to be a slave. Now, maybe if you want to be like, well, subconsciously. All right, perhaps there. Fucking Dr. Ruth Diepenheimer. housewife. Ooh, housewife says, I agree. I think Hunter and his stepsister, who also made sure her diary would be found, made a pact to expose their father for the evil person he is. Again, that's a little wishful thinking. Now, maybe there's some subconscious truth there. Perhaps. But overall, I just don't know if it's exactly that deep. Now, let's hop over here. Uh-oh. That's not good. Why is it not working? Okay, folks, this could be breaking. At 4:58 a.m., June 2nd, Friday, 2023. It looks like the website's down. Huh. Okay. I just try to relaunch it, so let's see. The only reason why I'm still recording this is I just figured if it doesn't work, I guess it counts as news, right? So let's see. According to poll, it was working not too long ago. I'm gonna pull a poll real quick and see. Yeah, no, it went down. Damn. Well, that is most unfortunate, isn't it? Yeah, actually, and all the other threads are actually down. The only one that's up right now is one from 43 minutes ago. And it's only got 4 responses to it. Then it's 10K juicy, hard, huge Hunter Biden picks out. Huge, big, juicy, hard Hunter Biden leak. It's time to go through every huge, big, juicy, hard Hunter Biden picture. My fellow Trump bros, this is the big, huge, juicy, hard leak. We need to win the election. I'm drawing red lines as we speak to connect the dots. I do detect the hint of sarcasm there. It is not missed upon me, but that is the only thread currently up discussing this. Interesting. So the other threads are all gone. Alright, folks, well, that's an interesting development. So let's scroll down here and check something out real quick. Is the email website still up? Okay, well, the email one seems to be up. Okay, so emails are up. Just, interesting. Alright, well, I will leave a link to this in the description below, and I will periodically check to see if the other website's back up. But until next time, I've been yours, James Madison, and don't drink Bud Light.
Where's Hunter?
Hey, I thought it was all over.
Hey, welcome back to Inside Four Walls. So, it's the second day of Pride Month, and the first day of Pride Month was really eventful for Twitter. Elon Musk did not have a mask off moment. The mask was kind of ripped from his face. And 2 people at Twitter got rooted out, including our favorite World Economic Forum new hire, who's been fired or resigned. That being said, folks, let's just get right on into it. We got 2 articles, by the way. Breaking. Daily Wire accuses Twitter of canceling What is a Woman deal over misgendering, which, on its surface, was a bit of an interesting claim, wasn't it? Because of the Daily, or the Babylon Bee, which did the Rachel whatever, the dude Biden's got as the Admiral, whatever the fuck. They labeled him Man of the Year, and they got suspended on Twitter. And Elon Musk said, fine, now I'm going to buy Twitter. So this was a weird thing. But for full transparency, Elon Musk does come around towards the end. That's a little bit of a new end of the story that didn't get talked around too much, is Elon Musk actually went on to share the link to the full documentary himself twice. Quote, Twitter canceled a deal with Real Daily Wire to premiere What is a Woman for free on the platform because of 2 instances of misgendering. Article by Libby Evans. Update. The film was later made available to all users, though it was not placed next to advertising. Yep. So I guess we'll get into this now. Elon Musk made 2 caveats. First off, he wasn't in the country when the decision was made. There was an email that went out. There was a tweet that went out. I haven't been able to find it again, but a tweet went out and went very viral. And it stated that Elon Musk was in the very room when the decision was made. Turned out to not be true because Elon Musk was actually in Thailand at the time. Don't ask. I don't want to know what he was doing in Thailand. By the way, I posted a joke about the Little Mermaid, and I swear to fucking God, this person goes, well, in Thailand is a huge hell. It goes, oh yeah, in the faggiest fucking country imaginable with all the lady boys. You mean to tell me a woke Disney film fucking takes off? Shocker. And then they blocked me. But am I wrong? Am I fucking wrong? Jesus Christ. Yeah, Pitch Perfect's a banger there too. I wonder fucking why. Oh, you mean a bunch of women? Like The Notebook in Thailand? Ah, wow. I wonder why all the men are so empathetic. Anyway, Elon Musk said, I will not allow this video to play near advertisements. Which, I mean, if you want the ad-blocked experience, just make sure you have picture-in-picture playing on Twitter with this video playing. And to his credit, it's the full documentary. And he also said, we will not promote it to anyone who doesn't seek it out. Meaning, so part of the original deal was this video would play in front of everybody. Everyone would get to watch it. It would be like when you go up there, it would be, you know how they do the Twitter spaces, and you get over, as soon as you open Twitter, you see the bars with the little scroll text telling you, Twitter live spaces, this is streaming. And you click it and it takes you to the little live spaces or whatever. This was supposed to be treated like that. And by the way, I'm someone who shits on the Daily Wire. I like what they do. I like their mission. Definitely rough around the edges. My issue is more with a lot of I have a lot of nitpicky problems with tons of the people at the Daily Wire, especially Ben Shapiro over Kanye shit. And I have a lot of annoyances with people like Matt Walsh. I've gotten into them. I'll save them for later. But getting Twitter to even humor the idea of playing What is a Woman for free all day on June 1st, the first day of Pride Month, or as I call it, MAGA Month. Ballsy. I respect that hustle. That is nice. That's funny. That is kino as hell, my friends. I'm not gonna act like the Daily Wire does not earn some points with me for that one. That is a fucking smooth goddamn move. But Elon Musk effectively said, we will shadow ban you. We're not going to promote it. If people want to watch it, they'll have to go to your page. But that did not stop them because it got over 44 million goddamn views, folks. Correction. It currently is sitting right here at 51.9 million views, folks. And you know what's really funny about this? Alright, you see right here? Now let's go back to Elon Musk's account. They effectively ratioed Elon goddamn Musk. Elon Musk retweets this. Look at that shit. Look at that shit. Now, Elon Musk's tweet has only been viewed 37.2 million times, right? Only 37.2 million people have looked at Elon Musk's retweet of the Daily Wire. But the Daily Wire itself has 51.9 million views. That means people aren't going to watch this through Elon Musk's Twitter account predominantly. They are looking up the Daily Wire's Twitter feed to go watch this directly. And now it is for free all Pride Month because of this shit. The Daily Wire, bro, you have my respects for this. I fucking commend you on it. That's funny as hell. Now, That is called the Streisand effect, folks. With all this, people saying, oh, first we're going to yank it down, make it so it can't play, and then Elon Musk being like, oh, I'm going to shadow ban it. Oh, I'm not going to let it run your advertisements. Oh, I'm not even going to share it out. All right, fine, I'll tweet it out. People were already going to the Daily Wire's page immediately for this documentary. And folks, I've seen it before. It's pretty good. Oh wait, I can download this through Twitter link. Okay, folks. What is a woman for free on my BitChute account forever? Anyway, let's hop back over here. Twitter will not let you retweet the film, but you can still embed it. Just press down on the video and hit tweet video. Works now. Only limit is that it will not be placed next to advertising. You guys still don't believe me when I say I live in sort of what a Democrat would call an inner urban area? I hope that doesn't get me in trouble on any fucking website. Oh well. I'm not taking this video down anyway. On the eve of the launch of Matt Walsh's iconic documentary, Icon, baby. What is a woman? On Twitter, Daily Wire claims the social media giant canceled the free premiere over 2 instances of misgendering. Daily Wire CEO Jeremy Boring took to Twitter to make his case, saying, quote, Twitter canceled a deal with Real Daily Wire to premiere What is a Woman for free on the platform because of its 2 instances of misgendering. I'm not kidding. Here's what happened. Bam. He went on to explain that as the 1-year anniversary of What is a Woman coming up, and June 1st would be the first day of Pride Month, Daily Wire had decided to make the film a free 24-hour stream for Twitter. Twitter was set to host the film on a special event page to promote the film. Oh. Alright, I'm back. Anyway. Promote the film, inviting all users of the platform to watch it and hear for themselves how absurd it is. The question even needs to be asked in 2023. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Everyone was going to get a notification for this on the first day of Pride Month. Which, again, I don't usually give the Daily Wire a lot of credit. That is a great fucking meme. I love that. That is fucking phenomenal. Everyone gets a notification. It gets a little banner at the top of Twitter when you open it. Bro, Twitter would effectively have one of 2 responses. Users would have logged in, seen that, and be like, I just can't be here, I didn't go. And they'd leave. Or you'd have people like, I have to argue. I can't let this sit. I gotta argue. And then you'd have my ass sitting there. My small little Pepe ass just sitting there. Little coffee in hand, typing out comments, getting salt. Fucking leaving little aspy fucking comments to make people angry. That's what I would have been doing, but no. Fucking Twitter had to fuck around until like the last minute. Yeah, 24 hours starts at fucking what, 11 p.m. yesterday? Go fuck yourself, Twitter. But I do want to dispel the thing that, well, Elon Musk was in the room when it happened. It's like, homie was actually in Taiwan. Now, that doesn't mean he wasn't on like a Skype or a Zoom meeting. Because let's face it, Zoom cucked Skype for no reason suddenly. And maybe he was like, oh, yeah, sure, what's going on? Yeah, sure, sounds great, do whatever. Or he left this kind of woke ESG peddling bitch in charge while he was in Taiwan. Presumably promoting LGBTQ ladyboy rights. Daily Wire's Boring said. By the way, dude, it's June 1st and you go to Taiwan? Man. Well, I mean, we know how Elon Musk feels about inserting brain chips in people. Maybe he has certain insertions he likes himself. Again, you can't go to Taiwan on the first day of Pride Month and not expect me to make some fucking jokes about it, dude. It's like ladyboy capital of the fucking world and you're there on the first day of Pride Month. People, leave better jokes in the comments, please. Now, Daily Wire Boeing said, accepted and signed an agreement. After we signed, Twitter asked to see the film to better understand what parts may trigger users. so they could better prepare for their responses. They said they were still all hands on deck for the launch, so we sent them a screener. However, after reviewing the film, Twitter said that the deal was off, saying that the package was no longer on the table, and that as opposed to amplifying the film, Twitter would, quote, actually limit the reach of the film and label it as hateful conduct because of misgendering. Filmmaker Matt Walsh said, that's an interesting title, said the screening would still happen on Twitter, but that it wouldn't be part of the amplification package, as it was previously planned. And like I said, that's the other half of that shadow banning thing. So when Elon Musk says, well, just simply, it's not going to be near the ads. No. There's another little caveat to that wasn't really mentioned. Dubiously as hell. Anyway, filmmaker Matt Walsh said that the screening would still happen on Twitter, but that it wouldn't be part of the amplification package, as was previously planned. He shared one of the scenes from the film that apparently at film. Let's see. From the film that was apparently at issue. See, I was trying to read it as had the issue. At issue. Couldn't find any other way to fucking word that. Talk about a fucking train wreck of a sentence right there towards the end. A comma would have saved you. Now, let's go on. And said, quote, we will still stream the movie here tonight in its entirety at 8 p.m. Twitter has the next 12 hours to decide whether they want to be a true free speech platform or not. The answer is not. Look, they banned Kanye for posting a Black Hebrew Israelite symbol, called it a hate symbol. I mean, you just can't go around calling things hate symbols and then turn around and see like free speech advocate. It's either all offensive speech or it's not offensive speech. When you put like fancy, like, oh well, this is hate speech, as opposed to it just being speech that you hate, you're the one admitting that there's some sort of level of verbiage control that you require in order to not be a vapid little offended pussy. Yeah, no, hate speech isn't a real thing. But Elon Musk has labeled things hate speech on Twitter before, too. Elon Musk has made a lot of things better, but Elon Musk is slowly but surely succumbing to the very same woes. We've talked about this before. I forgot what episode was it? Anyway, Elon Musk has fallen to the same pressures that Jack Dorsey did. Countries saying, you do this and we ban you in our country. When the only answer you should really take is fuck you, ban me. If people want to be on Twitter, they will use VPNs. And then when people are in school, look, this is what you're not thinking. You're not thinking long term, and I understand it. But Elon, you said you weren't buying Twitter to make money, so quit acting like you want to make money on it. You know what I mean? You very clearly do want to make money on it. So just that's another thing you need to admit to yourself. Here's the thing. If you're not concerned about making money, tell the countries to go fuck themselves. Tell them all to go suck a lemon. Because what's going to happen? People are going to use VPNs. People are going to find a way to get on Twitter anyway. 4chan's not banned in the UK as far as I know. Because all the Brit figs who be posting, I don't think it's banned there, unfortunately. However, my point being, VPNs and other ways, people will find a way to get on Twitter. And then when people see their friends get arrested for being on Twitter, it's going to stir up a whole lot of anti-government sentiment in the younger generation who's addicted to the internet. And watch, they're going to grow up and be like, get the government out of tech. That's how it always starts. That's how that kind of mentality spurs on, because it's like a government doing what government thinks it's doing regularly. And then the people watching it get disgusted by it. And then go, fuck you, dude. I mean, it's kind of what's going on with the taxation is theft and the free state movement here in America. For anyone outside the country who may not know what those are. Look into them. It's a lot of fun. I think see if more countries could get something like that going on. Essentially, the free state movement are just states, is California's free state movement. And it's chunks of the state that are expanding where they're saying, we're not going to adhere to a lot of these federal laws about guns and whatnot, and we're not going to, welcome certain aspects of the federal government in our communities. And it's a very, it's not one political or the other. They have more of a libertarian association with them. But the Free State projects are quite interesting. I want to see where they go in the future. But we have a video here from Matt Walsh. This is one of the scenes from what is a woman that Twitter says is hate speech. Let me turn my brightness real quick. We will still stream the movie here in its entirety at 8 Eastern Standard Time.
How long have you been running the shop here?
25 years.
Oh, it's the Star Wars dude. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, there's this guy runs a Star Wars shop, and he posts a sign. It was something like, you'll never be a woman. And this person comes in and starts going, you need to take that down. He goes, no, and you're a freak. Get out of my store.
Now, you had an incident here a little while ago that went really viral online. Lots of reactions in the public.
Aberdeen Councilwoman Tiesa Meskis confronted owner Don Super about a sign he posted in his store. One day I just...
Here's the thing, right? I'm in the local government here, bro. I could not imagine myself walking in. Look, I've called up stores. The most caring thing I've done with my power, and I've never flexed it. I can't do anything with my power. I can't make anybody do anything. I don't want to. But I have called and been like, hey, my name is James Madison. I'm a precinct delegate in your area. I was around by your restaurant and I saw the multitude of pride flags you have. You can fly whatever you want, but do you understand the meaning of these two flags? And it'll be like, there's a restaurant here. They're a big chain. Fuck it, I'll name them. Bobcat Bonnie's. They're a big chain. So it's not exactly like I'm naming a fucking mom and pop shop here. They have a map flag and a bestiality flag in their fucking windows. And they dead ass don't give a fuck. But I've called them like, hey, so that flag with the two yellow lines and the two pink lines at the top, the blues in the middle, do you know the meaning of that flag? To which I was told, yes, that is a minor attracted person flag and you have no business calling. Click. Now there's like 4 in my area, between like the whole area that I'm in, so there's like 4, so it's not like you narrow it down, then again they all fly the flag, so it's kind of a disturbing display. And then I called in, I was like, hey, so that flag you got with the paw up in the corner of it, I just got hung up on, so I was like, alright, whatever. Dude, since that was like 2 years ago, and they've just added, they don't even have windows anymore, it's just pride flags. Everywhere is pride flags. I'm just like, goddamn. And what I'm really disturbed about is, there's like 3 places I know in my area that have flown the map flag, and every time I call and tell them, no, correction, 1 place, it was like a coffee shop in my area, and they did take it down. And I told them what it was, and they looked it up, and they're like, oh, really? Well, thanks for letting us know. Those trolls got us, and they hung. I'm like, what? They think trolls got them? Trolls my ass. No, they just googled pride flags and bought the pride collection. It's really disturbing that map flags and bestiality flags exist and just are flown in businesses. And here's the thing, right? Don't be a dick, but it is not ill-proposed to call these businesses in your area and be like, hey, do you know what this flag means? If you see these flags, look up what they mean and call them. Be like, hey, do you know what this means? Worst case scenario, they're going to hang up on you because it's not a harassment call and you're not prank calling them. So they call the cops on you. You know what's going to happen? You'll be like, no, look, this is what that flag means. I'll just call them to let them know. You're not doing a prank call. You're not calling them with ill intent. And that's the thing that differentiates prank calls from other calls. If you're not doing it for business, but you're doing it with like proper intent, you get it. You get it. Dr. Seuss's new book, If you are born with a dick, you're not a chick. I'd read that. Oh my god, I'd fucking read that.
His store. One day I just put the sign up over here, and he came around the corner, and I thought, okay, I recognize you. I says, I recognize you. You're our new city councilman. He says, no, I'm your new city councilwoman. So it was kind of on from there.
Pronouns, tradition.
No, what you're spouting is bullshit. No, it's not.
Look at the stance. That's a masculine stance. That's an intimidation pose.
25 years. I've never had a problem with anybody, whether they're gay, transsexual, anything.
Now, you're saying councilman, this individual was saying, I'm a woman.
Right.
And you said you're not a woman. How do you know that person's not a woman?
How do I know?
Yeah.
Well, common sense.
Men.
Doesn't the science say that if someone identifies as a woman, then they are?
No. Now that's completely bogus. I don't care if you think you're a sheepdog and you come into my store. It don't matter to me. Just don't come in and try to shove that shit down my throat.
If it makes someone feel better, what about their feelings?
I don't give a shit about their feelings. I'm old.
What about the Star Wars universe? Jar Jar Binks, pansexual, do you think? transgender?
Why would I even care?
If it's his truth.
Well, it ain't true.
You're not a scientist. You're not a gender studies major. Or are you?
No.
No? Okay. How do you know that you're a man?
How do I know that I'm a... I guess because I got a dick.
And that's actually, look, I'm going to say that's how you conduct a proper interview. Because he wasn't just saying, yes, interesting, good. Well, how do you know this? It's Matt Walsh doesn't genuinely disagree with this guy. And he's not asking questions to be challenging. It's just, well, you don't have a gender study. He's asking questions that the opposing view would ask, but he's asking them in a very rapport way. And I like that. I like that a lot. Something that you don't see in a lot of interviews. Hey, if you go watch some of my interviews, like, for example, James Madison Interviews America, I do that kind of stuff. There's one, I think it's in my last upload. I had a guy throw a coffee at me because I was asking about socialism. And I genuinely believe real socialism has never been tried. It's because Karl Marx was all about people owning guns, and he said there's no excuse in which the civilians or the populace or populi should ever be stripped of owning firearms. And if they ever are, it falls upon them to retaliate against whatever force that tries to strip them of their firearms. So that's not right. Like, that's like, you're like, Karl Marx said fucking what? Yeah, no, for real. Karl Marx said people have the right to all. He pretty much wrote the Second Amendment in Russian. And when people say real socialism has never been tried, I'm like, well, okay, I agree, but do you know why? And then they're like, well, because all that's been set up has always failed. I'm like, no, it would fail anyway. People would not let themselves be treated that way. That's why every communist country has always taken away the firearms, which means they've never been a communist country. Socialism has been tried. There's socialist countries with guns, but there's not communist countries with guns. There is a slight difference, even though with Karl Marx and Lenin, the fathers of the ideology, used communism, socialism interchangeably. They have over time kind of developed a slight level difference, where like socialism is a level 5, communism is a level 6 type deal. But yeah, if people were allowed to have guns, they usually won't be treated that way. That's why you see a lot of riots and uprisings in communist countries that usually just result with a new communist leader being in place. But that's what happens with communist countries with guns. They don't work without guns. They don't work with guns. They just kind of don't work. But that's the kind of argument you got to be ready to have. If someone's like, communism will always fail, it's like, well, what makes you say that? Well, real communism hasn't tried. Well, some people would say that since Stalin took the guns, for example, that he wouldn't be considered a communist leader. And then you get to watch their brains melt. And all you did was say, well, some would argue this. Now, what would your response be to them? And I was talking to this guy, and he was saying, like, the government needs to seize and regulate all these banks. I was like, well, some people would probably say that sounds a lot like communism. You're asking for a government ran under a president that you like to seize banks and have banks be even more regulated by the federal government. That's sort of doesn't that seem perhaps kind of communistic? And he just throws this fucking McDonald's iced latte in my fucking face. And he fucking walks off. And I'm just sitting there holding my GoPro covered in fucking McDonald's cafe coffee. And I just sat there licking my lips. I'm like, Sir, your backwash tastes vaccinated. He yells, fuck you! And he walks off. God, tell me that's in there. I have to go look up. I meant to put that in there. It has to be in there, because I was in my trip to DC for the Defeat the Mandates event. Oh, my God. I forgot all about that somehow. Dude, I got a cut up on my upper cheek from the plastic lid of that Starbucks cup going. Anyway. So, what are these instances of misgendering? Boren explained that in one case of the film, a father referred to his daughter as her, and a store owner used the wrong pronouns in a confrontation with a man. With a trans person. The daughter identifies as trans. Yeah. Damn, so that's not just follows child behavior? Shit. Anyway, Boring pointed out that after Musk took over Twitter in fall of 2022, misgendering was removed as an offense from their terms. But apparently Twitter told Boring that even if it's not explicitly stated, it's still considered, quote, abuse and harassment. Daily Wire refused to make changes to the film to comply. Boring stated, quote, when we asked how much they would limit the visibility if we posted the film anyway, Twitter replied that our followers would not be able to see it in their feeds. This, they said, is part of their speech, not reach policy, he said. Yes, that's Twitter saying, we will shadow ban you. We will suppress you. New Twitter, more like just under new management. Daily Wire recently bought, Daily Wire recently brought their whole spate of shows, really? I've never heard that term used before. Their whole spate of shows. I was sitting there in my head like, is that a typo? Spate of shows to the platform, anticipating that it would be basically the only platform friendly to conservatives, as the other social media sites have made their preferences for leftist known. There's a weird site called Gab. They do Gab video, guys. So, you know, if you're concerned about getting your message out, and you're doing this all for free anyway, why not make a Gab account? Furthermore, what about Getter? If you want to avoid sites that don't have if you want to avoid left-wing slants, by the way, you should go to left-wing slants if you can get on there. Just mind Salt. But Truth Social, they do videos now. You could have gone to Truth Social, but you didn't. Then again, Ben Shapiro would literally vote for any Republican besides Donald Trump at this point. He's basically a never Trumper at this point, and it's kind of amusing to watch him bitch about the Lincoln Project. And it's like, dog, if you were into kids, you'd be a Lincoln Project member. It's just you don't like kids enough. Otherwise, you'd be one. Anyway, again, I'll save my bitchings about the Daily Wire for the end of the article. But stop thinking in terms of legacy social media. Legacy social media is dying out as people run to things like Mastodon, Blue Sky, Getter, Gab, Truth, and then BitChute, Rumble, Odyssey, Dailymotion. All these other sites are on the fucking rise. I had a Dailymotion account. I had too many issues trying to upload there, and they just kept crashing on me, so I abandoned it. And the same thing with Odyssey. I quit using Odyssey, but more and more people are using Odyssey. I should see if they've updated yet. Anyway, anticipating leftist known. Quote, I hope Elon Musk reconsiders this awful policy, Boring said. If we can't debate these issues on Twitter, where can we debate them? Gab, Truth, Getter. Well, it kind of goes on Facebook. You do have a Facebook account. I mean, you ran these clips on Facebook before, so it's like I've seen the clip where he talks to that fucking furry dude, and they walk out the interview. He misgenders in that. For using these fucking bullshit made up terms of misgender. You can't misgender somebody if you're factually, biologically addressing them. That's not a misgender, that's fucking correct gender. Misgendering we'd be calling a man a woman or calling a woman a man. That's misgendering, but whatever. We need to Karen out on this topic. Anyway, that's all on Facebook. Why so desperate to be on Twitter? And at the same time, like, Daily Wire will write articles about how Twitter is dying. So it's like, bro, pick. Are they dying, or do you need to be on the platform at all costs? Like, what's the holdup? What's the nom de plume? I'm guessing. I'm trying to figure out here, my man. Look, you choose on your activities. Then again, you know, if you look at my activities on these social media platforms, other than Twitter, Twitter's the only one Twitter and Truth occasionally are the only two I actually really interact on. The rest of them I just kind of plug my bullshit episodes on. Walsh, What is a Woman, caused a stir when it launched last year, as it showed the absolute absurdity of a culture that can't identify one of the two sexes, and claims that as individuals can change sex simply by wishing it to be so. Yeah, well, here's the thing. Look at the pride flag. Look at how often the pride flag has fucking changed. Right? Isn't it kind of fitting that their own fucking flag is having a nonstop identity crisis at all times? It's a little fitting. I think it's humorous. But that is going to bring us to the end of this episode here. Let's hop over here. As you can see, Daily Wire right here. Everything's back.
You mean a woman, right? Oh, no, that. And when you say birthing parent, you mean a woman, right? Oh, no, that is definitely not me. My original take of this definitely said woman. I'm a board-certified OBGYN. I can tell you that I know what a woman is. But that little change just translated my...
They changed that to you? You said woman and they changed it to birthing parent?
We
yes, if you look at the original copy, they actually put it in brackets. So I wasn't too upset about that. I'm kind of used to my expert opinions and medical information being translated into woke liberal language. But if that had been the only problem, I wouldn't be complaining.
Yeah, we won't do that here, we promise. Doctor, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
We reached out to Parents Magazine.
Follows
we did not hear
Lutheran.
back. Thanks so much to Dr. Gray.
Cool. Right here. As you can see right here, Daily Wire. Visibility limited. This tweet may violate Twitter's rules of service. And this is from 19 hours ago, so this is yesterday at 5:15 in the afternoon, according to this little time stamp up here. Alright. Neat. Before I wrap up and get into the next, get this going to record the next episode, I want to show you Elon Musk's little tweets here. Every parent should watch this. Then quit actively suppressing it still. You've taken off some of the filters and fired the people behind the scenes involved in it being canceled last second. But there are still steps making it, less than profitable for you, especially when you consider we're coming up on, what? How many? Jesus Christ! Look at what's happened. It's gone up, what? It's gone up 1 million views in the time we've sat here. 54.9 million views. It was 53.9 million views last time we checked in on it 32 minutes ago. In 32 minutes, 1 million people roughly have watched this documentary. How about that? And it's Friday, 3:30 p.m. in the afternoon. I'm redundant. So, think about how much revenue you could have made having ads play around this. Just no. But for the virtue signal, to not piss everybody off, to play to some people's delicate sensibilities, Musk, you're gonna not play it. You're letting it play, but you're gonna keep it suppressed. You're not gonna promote it and put it on the front page. But every parent should watch this. Shut the fuck up. Like, goddamn, build spaceships and shut up. Consenting adults should do whatever makes them happy, provided it does not harm others. But a child is not capable of consent, which is why we have laws protecting minors. And I can get behind that as well. But you can't say every parent should watch this and then actively suppress it. But that being said, real quick. So, rundown. My issue with Matt Walsh is he always complains about how he complains about how we don't need big government in this country, but then he'll say the government needs to get in and regulate online porn and ban online porn because he just can't get on any website without seeing degenerate ads for pornography. My thought process is, hey buddy, when you accept all cookies, they're tracking you, and those ads are targeted towards you, so you're looking at something. Or you're looking up something. I think you have a problem and you want the government to solve that problem for you because you can't stop looking at something online. Because if all your ads that you're seeing on your computer are porn to the point where you're bitching about it periodically, at least once or twice a month, then you need to quit looking at it. Ben Shapiro is like, I'll debate anybody, folks. Bring them on and I'll debate them. I'll have an argument. I'll talk to them. The best way to deal with bad ideas is to have good ideas. Unless your name is Kanye West. If you're Kanye West, you get that black motherfucker out my goddamn building. I don't want that black fuck in here. I don't want to hear any of his goddamn opinions. He's disgusting. He's revolting. I am suddenly going to take the most Israelite view on blacks you will ever fucking hear. And get that. He puts on a Burger. Get that motherfucker out the plane. Puts on the Burger King crown. Actually, I have a Burger King crown right here. I'm not gonna lie. A black guy gave me a Burger King crown the other day, and I just looked at him. I'm like. Right. But yeah, he tells Candace Owens, you're not allowed to have Kanye West on your show. And Candace Owens, that's my gripe with her. Other than that and her, like, lefty past she's never apologized for, which, I'll give the Court all the credit in the world for being the other person giving Candace Owens shit for that, because she doxed people. She got people hurt, possibly killed. It was never proven. And then all of a sudden, she switches sides, like, 2016, 2017, and now she's, like, the conservative fucking black chick like Candace Owens, like Condi Rice was for the Bush administration, right? And by the way, Condi Rice was a good chick. I like her. Condi Rice was a great chick, a great woman. You quit referring to her as a chick. Be too casual with her. Anyway, who am I? George Bush. Now, oh my, Dick Cheney. Now, my issue with Candace Owens is she's known Kanye for years, about 6 years, and she also was like, well, Kanye can't come on my show anymore. I just can't have him on, guys, because my boss won't let me. Which is like, okay, Ben, you said you'll debate anybody, right? This is the ultimate bad ideas meet sunlight for you, right? Have the conversation. Why are you running? Candace Owens, why are you cucking? If he was your friend, you're throwing your friend under the bus for Ben Shapiro, for the Daily Wire, you could be like, look, no, Ben, I'm Candace Owens. I've had the Candace Owens show from before I had this contract, and before I had this contract, I was friends with Kanye West, and I've had my friend on my show. If I had a bigger network, I could not see myself telling somebody not to have their friends on their show because I don't like what their friends are saying. Now, if I don't like what their friends are saying, I might ask, like, hey, can I come on your show to debate the topic? And if they say I'm not comfortable with that, I'd be like, all right, well, it's your show, man. As long as you're bringing in the views and making the money, I don't care, ultimately. But Ben Shapiro cared enough, and Candace Owens cucks, so that's my grievances with them. And now Jordan Peterson. My God, there's so much I love about Jordan Peterson, but at the same time, stop fucking crying. Stop it. You bitch all day long about, well, you have to overcome these insecurities and pick up the heaviest object you can find and carry and be the great lobster. And you have to overcome these demons. You have to embrace the shadow, the darkness, and incorporate it into your inner character. And that's the only way to overcome the darkness. But you called me a mean name on Twitter, and you Twitter Marxist be damned. I will not be bullied. Elon Musk, block them. Yeah, fuck you, Jordan. Absolutely fuck you, dog. Look, I get it. You were in a drug-induced rehab coma, and your daughter, Michaela, and her brain-dead ass was getting rough-rided and raw-dogged and having trains all across East Berlin rode on her. I get it. But, shut up. He has turned into such a fucking crybaby ass. Now, he still says so much of merit. I'm not trying to remove that from him. But I would love to see Jordan Peterson, circuit 2018, talk to this Jordan Peterson. My fucking God. Dude, Jordan Peterson, remember back in the day where he'd be like, you clearly didn't care about offending me, right? You've come at me and you were very rude, and gotcha. When he made that Kathy chick cry. Because she was being super rude to him, and then she was like, I guess I have to think about a response. He goes, see, I gotcha. That Jordan Peterson doesn't exist anymore. The Jordan Peterson we got now would be crying at the moment she got rude with him. I don't understand. I just don't understand why you'd be so mean to me. That's my issue with the Daily Wire. And the cowboy guy, who the fuck cares? Who the fuck cares, dog? You are basically Mark Levin for the Daily Wire. I get your whole shtick. Everything you have to say on a topic, Mark Levin said 2 hours earlier on a different platform. Got it, dog. Your whole cowboy shtick is fucking fake as fuck, by the way. And then it's like, Matt, I like Michael Knowles. I genuinely don't have anything bad to say about Michael Knowles other than he's a Catholic and I'm a Lutheran, so, pre-existing Hatfield-McCoy situations being what they are. And that's kind of it. Brett Cooper, I'm not a 16-year-old girl. I don't care about the comment section. I don't care. I know she's like my generation. I just don't care. Or I just don't give a fuck about anything Brett Cooper does or says. I really don't care. And during the Kanye shit and during the Mug Club shit, the way that all these Daily Wire personalities got involved in a beef that had nothing to do with them, like you had every single Daily Wire person every time their show started bitching about Steven Crowder saying, look, this contract's bad, I'm not going to name names, only for the Daily Wire to name themselves as a company Steven Crowder talked about without naming. And then Crowder was like, well, since you named yourself, yeah, let's talk about it. And then Brett Cooper and all these fucking assholes came out, including the weird little, like, Daily Wire Junior squad, these fucking 18-year-old kids, whatever the fuck they are, doing their stupid little fucking Twitch series ran by the Daily Wire, crying about fucking Steven Crowder, and they all barely knew who the fuck he was. It was very clearly Jeremy Boring got his fucking pussy hurt by Steven Crowder. So he told all of his little fucking minions to start bitching and moaning about Steven Crowder and Mug Club. Only for Mug Club to ultimately beat their ass. Hold on. It's Kanye. Ooh, Kanye. I'll be real with you, that phone call completely derailed my thought process, so I'm just gonna wrap this up here. I'll talk to y'all later. Deuce. Oops. Hey, welcome back to Inside Four Walls. I'm yours, James Madison, and right fresh off the presses, right after we get through this article, another Twitter executive has either been fired or resigned from Twitter. Just in, Twitter reportedly loses second top safety executive in 2 days. Holy shit. I think there's a chance now, I'm stepping back here, maybe there's some chance that Elon Musk still apparently is suppressing the spread of the Daily Wire documentary. But folks, it seems like some sort of internal purges. Just in the last 24 hours, three, it says 2 days, but no, it's been less than 24 hours, 3 executives have left, or 3 people in this trust and safety executive area of Twitter have left, resigned, and or been fired. And by the way, with these resignations, I don't think they're voluntary. But let's get into it. Twitter's head of trust and safety says she has resigned. This is the World Economic Forum shill her fucking self. Ooh, good goddamn riddance. By Reuters. June 2nd at 12:20 a.m. First thing in the goddamn morning. And we're getting to the new one right afterwards. Twitter's head of trust and safety, Ella Irwin, told Reuters on Thursday that she has resigned from the social media company, which has faced criticism for lax protections against harmful content since billionaire Elon Musk acquired it in October. Irwin, who joined Twitter in June 2022, took over as head of the trust and safety team in November, when previously held by Yoel Roth resigned. She oversaw content moderation. An email to Twitter returned an automated reply with a poop emoji. Fair. Irwin declined further comment, and Musk did not immediately respond to requests for comments. On Friday, the Wall Street Journal reported A.J. Brown, head of brand safety and ad quality, yeah, baby, is leaving. The departures come as the platform has struggled to retain advertisers, with brands weary of appearing next to unsuitable content. I wonder what they're referencing, folks. I wonder what they're referencing. Musk announced earlier this month that he hired Linda Yaccarino, another WEF shill, a former NBC Universal advertising chief, to become Twitter's new CEO. Yeah, and we'll see how this fucking lasts. Hopefully she doesn't take the job, but she's supposed to be taking over as soon as she's done with ABC for, another 2 months? Fortune earlier reported that Irwin's internal Slack account appears to have been deactivated. Since Musk's acquisition, Twitter has cut costs dramatically and laid off thousands of employees, including many who had worked in efforts to prevent harmful and illegal content, protect election integrity, and surface accurate information on the site. Now, he's a real kicker about that, right? When it came to posting anything about the 2016 election being stolen from Hillary, completely fine and allowed on Twitter. But anything about the 2020 election being stolen from Trump, banned, silenced. So I don't think your interest was in protecting election stuff. Go fuck yourself. Musk has promoted a feature called Community Notes, which lets users add context to tweets as a way to combat misleading information on Twitter, which I will say is quite fucking fun. I will say, since he's taking over Twitter, doesn't he look more Discord moddy by the day? Or am I wrong? He looks like Up Is Not Jump's meth-addicted brother. Like, maybe a little? Like, just a little bit of a resemblance here? Oh, well. The company is also facing increasing scrutiny from regulators over its moderation efforts. Twitter withdrew from voluntary agreement with the European Union to tackle disinformation, while saying it was committed to complying with up-and-coming internet rules in the EU. Twitter will not be part of the EU's agreements to regulate disinformation. But we will also adhere to all rules set by the EU for internet moderation and regulation. What, bitch? We're not part of it, we're part of it. That's the same kind of logic when Biden's like, we're not at war with Russia, man. We're just training and arming and equipping the Ukrainians to kill Russians. What? What exactly is the difference between that and being involved? We have ground troops already. You know, so it's like we're not part of the EU's agreements, but we will adhere to the EU's agreements rules. Why are you not a member? I mean, I guess it gives you wiggle room to be like, yep. But you should have just let them go suck a lemon. EU industry chief Thierry Breton warned Twitter last week they would not be able to avoid legal obligations in the EU after quitting the voluntary agreement. Yeah, you can, by ignoring them. Kind of that straightforward. You know what's going to happen? People with VPNs and smart people are going to get on the internet. They're going to get on Twitter, so on and so forth. And then when people see their friends get arrested for using Twitter, something that's so small and inoffensive, they're going to get pissed and be like, I don't think people should be put in prison because they said something you didn't like or that you don't think is true. It's going to spur a whole other thought process in the younger generation. It will spur them in the favor of internet free, of a free speech internet. And now, when I say free speech, I'm not going to lie to you like Elon Musk. There needs to be laws about speech on the internet. I'm sorry. It's not a popular opinion. But doxing should be illegal. Posting harassment content of children should be a piece. I'm not saying, like, you're in Xbox lobby and you call a kid a fag so you'll fuck his mother. That shouldn't be illegal. But posting a kid's address. Posting contacts for a minor publicly. Posting Pizzagate stuff. You know what I mean? Should be made illegal. So I'm not going to lie to you and act like, oh, well, it should be completely free speech internet. Because I'm not so deluded in myself that I think that's a possibility. No, it's not. Joel Floater says, yes, because it was easier to retain advertising when 30% of Twitter content was child exploitation. Sadly, these days, that makes sense. Well, here's the thing, right? You can't watch this documentary because it misgenders two people originally. But I can still find videos of people getting blown up in Ukraine on Twitter. You know what I mean? It's like, bro, I can find videos of people jumping off buildings committing suicide. There's that video on Twitter right now. You can find it. You just type in guy kills himself and scroll for a minute in videos. You'll find it. This is a video of the guy in the leather coat sitting in front of his computer. Looks like Salty Cracker on the phone. Then he hangs up and he pulls a shotgun and pops the top of his fucking top off. You know, pops his top. And then the dog walks in and then his roommate comes in and screams and walks out. We've all seen the clip. Guy kind of looks like the dude from Mythbusters. Mike Oxbig says the article seems to try to want to defend how Twitter used to operate. Pretty sure the people trying to protect the election interference were actually the ones interfering themselves. True, and with it being New York Post, it's worth noting that Twitter under Jack Dorsey and Pancake Agrawal were suppressing the New York Times or the New York Post because they were confirming the Hunter Biden story. So it is interesting to see the New York Post doing that. I'm not Ray Charles of that bullshit. Good call out, Mike Oxbig. I'm saying that to try not to say the funny thing. Anyway, interference were actually the ones interfering themselves. If you want receipts, all you have to do is read the Twitter files. It's clearly laid out and actually proof. Not some ridiculous article that makes some unfounded claims like this one. I wouldn't say they're unfounded. There was nothing unfounded in here. They just purposely avoided talking about certain topics. More of a lie through admission. Good. Get rid of the liberals. Based. Ban the death cult. Now, let's hop over here. Twitter reportedly loses second top safety executive in 2 days. Yes! June 2nd, 2023, at 1:46 p.m. Twitter's head of brand safety, and ad quality, A.J. Brown, has decided to leave the company, according to a source familiar with the matter on Friday. The second safety leader to depart in matter of days. Try in a matter of what? Okay, fine. 43 hours. On a Thursday, Ella Irwin told Reuters that she resigned. Bye, bitch. From her role as vice president of product and trust and safety. These fucking bullshit buzzed corporate terms. At the social media company where she oversaw content moderation efforts, often in response to other users. With questions about suspended accounts. Brown worked on efforts to prevent ads from appearing next to unsuitable content. Platformer and Wall Street Journal earlier reported. Since Tesla CEO Elon Musk acquired Twitter in October, the platform has struggled to retain advertisers who were weary about placements of their ads on the company after the company laid off thousands of employees. Musk hiring of Yaccarino, former chief it's so hot in my room, at Comcast's NBC Universal, signaled that ad sales remained a priority for Twitter even as it worked to grow subscription revenue. Twitter and Brown did not immediately respond to Reuters for comment. Oh, you love to see it, man. All these fucking mouthpieces and controlled opposition folks are out. They're leaving, they're getting fired, they're resigning. Love it. Goodbye. Ernest Lemingway. Leave it to Reuters to ignore that Ella Irwin suppressed and banned people who didn't break Twitter's actual rules. At the behest of Eliza Blue. I almost forgot about that saga. The Republicans' latest, quote, convert from the Democrats who hasn't actually converted at all, or that Ella or Irwin herself was working overtime to keep the censorship and suppression on the board under Agrawal, had down to a science. The woman is poison for the company, and I'm still sure Yaccarino is going to be the same. Yaccarino is absolutely going to be the same. She's World Economic Forum as well. Yaccarino wants to bring in her own folks, probably. I would. Fancy Pants Lance says that's a bad take, bud. Hammer, everyone is replaceable. You may not like the choices, but everyone is replaceable. And that last comment.
Slumber.